Hello, Soul Family. I thought I would do a longer video. And so, you know, honestly, like my phone is off right now. Like my phone service is off and I don't have internet. So I thought, hey, why not just record a video and see, entertain myself, maybe throw some insight out there that I haven't thrown out before. Because usually in a 3-minute video, hey, there's only so much that can be said. But I want to first and foremost want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. I'm only 3 subscribers away from 100 people, which will basically allow me, not allow me because I'm the one that's making up the rule anyway, but basically I'll be to a level where I'll be cool with not auctioning off, but raffling off one of my stained glass pieces, and I showed it in one of my previous videos. If you want to take a look, the whole background is the piece. But I was sitting here pondering because I don't have access to my phone, and sometimes I'm a juvenile, and I can't just sit here alone in my thoughts and feelings or meditate. Sometimes I just feel like rattling some shit off and see where it takes me. I got this fucking crazy hair anyways, so I mean, let's go on with the fucking crazy rant while we're at it. So, right now, I'm living at a homestead, which many of you may or may not know. I don't know. But, when you start living with people you don't know, there's all sorts of wild things that go on. People don't want to get along, which, hey, I understand. Personalities are going to clash every once in a while. Egos are going to get in the way, and shit's just going to fucking happen. But one of the families that's here has decided to leave. And it's actually breaking me up quite a bit inside because I care about these people quite a bit. But there's so much more to it than what I can really express on here. And there's a lot of stuff that is really just petty stuff. But my deal is I like both parties that seem to not be able to get along, and one party seems to be okay with me still liking this other party, but the party that they don't like the fact that I am most likely going to stay here. And I get the wild feeling that they think I'm betraying them, and it has nothing to do with that. In the last 15 months, my husband has passed away. I've had to move twice now. My landlord was recording me illegally. When I moved to this homestead, I moved halfway across the country. It was not a small move, and I did it by myself. And they seem to think, first of all, there's 4 of them and there's 1 of me. I'm dead ass exhausted. And I don't care how little I have to move. The fact of the matter is, moving and disrupting my living space yet again is not good for my mental health. And yes, they can counter that the person that they had issue with is going to start a problem with me, when in reality, I'm just going to stay to myself like I have, do what I need to do, and just continue to mind my own business. And I probably won't have a problem, quite honestly, because he's got a girlfriend, and he's busy with that and his life and work and everything else. I mean, like, he's not going to be down here bothering me. And there's going to be another woman, I should say, not a girl, because she's actually a couple years older than me, that's going to be showing up here in probably about a month and a half tops. And when I met her, she's a really cool person. I think she's pretty laid back, like, I am. And as long as I don't have two big egos trying to fight each other, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I know some people will get it in their head when somebody they don't like doesn't like them back or whatever. I still to this day I have bits and pieces of what has transpired between these people, but I was never there to witness any of these conversations. And I really have no idea what it is that everybody is upset about, so I'm trying to keep my distance and not get myself in the middle of it. I care about both people, both parties, both families, I should say, very deeply, and it kills me that they can't get along well enough that we can't keep everything together. And so this family is basically up and leaving. And because I am not there, I wasn't there for any of these conversations other than a couple of trying to resolve it. You know, people want to drag me into it so that I can start taking sides, and I don't like, I've never wanted to do that. And every time someone has wanted me to start taking their side to prove my loyalty to them, and I've declined because I don't like, it's not my issue directly. And I understand your concern about me possibly getting taken advantage of. However, I don't think you really realize the kind of people that I know, that if something like that should happen, it's going to be dealt with. And even though I said my landlord was recording me, I never said anything about how he got dealt with or how he's about to be dealt with. And I haven't given a whole lot of detail on it for a lot of reasons. People know the basics of it. I basically told them, hey, he was recording my business, my personal life through the speaker system, because he had a central speaker system in the entire house. And he had cameras in that. He had cameras in the smoke detectors. He had cameras in the shower. He had cameras in the HVAC system. And yes, I can get upset about it. And I have, it's a huge violation of privacy. But the fact of the matter is, what can I do about it now? Right? Yes, I can continue to be pissed off about it, or I can realize I'm not in that situation anymore. He can't ever hurt me again. And what's out there is out there, and there's nothing I can do to take it out. As far as the justice system is concerned, I am greatly disappointed in their lack of attention to the matter. I brought it to the attention of the local police department where I was from. I brought it to the attention of the sheriff's department. I brought it to the attention of the state police of Utah. And guess what? Nothing, absolutely nothing got done. So I reported it to the FBI. And guess what? I haven't heard anything about it. So the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who you report it to, how many times you report it. If you are not on their little fucking goodie list, they're going to ignore it and throw it under the rug like they do everything else that they don't want to have to deal with. So guess what? I can either sit here and continue to get pissed off about it, and I'm not saying I'm not pissed off about it, but I generally don't tend to focus my attention on it, or I can move on with my life. And I have chosen to move on with my life. Yes, I can go chase after this. I could make this guy hurt if I wanted to. Yeah, I'd probably end up in prison or whatever, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. My peace is worth far more than any dollar sign, any check that may show up that would recompense me for the violation of my privacy. But in the end, it's not going to change anything, and it's not going to make me any happier. And I know some people would be like, what are you talking about? If I had money and, it'd solve all these problems and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, look, I'm not going to lie. I have a financial situation that isn't the greatest, but I'm also not huge, in debt. My issue is finding a job, of course, that I like, that I can manage, that I can tolerate, that is going to at least get me enough so I can get my business started again. I've tried everything to get people to buy stained glass from me. I've posted stuff on here. I've posted stuff on Facebook. I've posted my website. I've gone to, different businesses around here to see if they would be interested in consignment, and I have not had any success. And it's not because my work isn't good, it's because they haven't had space. Or, as far as like the stuff online, I don't know if any of the videos that I put out just get shadow banned or what the deal is, because I've had some really wonky stuff happen to me over the last 5 or 6 years. So I know I've been rambling on about, oh, poor me, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm not looking for pity. I'm looking for people to learn from my experience, in that even though something shitty can happen, your life could be falling apart. It will be, you could be in a position that you never thought you'd find yourself in or wanted to find yourself in, but you're here. It's not going to last forever. You have choices to make. You can continue to sit in it, or you have to work with what you have, put on your big girl panties or your big boy panties, depending on who you are. I mean, I know not all of my audience is female. I know a great majority of you guys are, but, every once in a while I have a dude that pops on and, they're interested in some of the shit that I got to say. And that's really kind of irrelevant, to what I'm about to say. But I just want people to learn from my mistakes. Don't copy them. Don't sit there and judge it. I already judged myself, all right? Like, that's why I'm on here telling you don't do it. If I thought it was such a great idea, I'd be telling you how to do it and that it was great. But the fact of the matter is, I'm telling you, look, my life is fucked up. Learn from my mistakes, and don't sit there and judge people who are in this position, because you really don't have any idea what led to it. And as well planned as anyone can be, you can't plan for absolutely everything. And that's kind of where I'm at, is I thought I had planned for everything, and no, I didn't. And all you can do is the best that you fucking can with what you got. And, maybe you pick up a few things that, hey, I know this can possibly happen. Let's get a safeguard in place to fix it so it doesn't happen again, or move on. Don't sit there and keep, oh my God. And in some case, as far as like this whole moving situation, I have gone on with this way too fucking long, man. I need to get my shit straight. I need stable employment. And it's not because I don't want to work. It's because nobody wants to call me. It has nothing to do with I'm not willing to work. I've put out my resume even here to at least 75 people, and I've heard back from one person. So it's whatever, whether they see a video of me and they say I'm a difficult person or whatever. I guess I'm a difficult person because I won't let shit slide. I'll straight up tell you, but it's because I'm trying to protect your business so that the issue doesn't become a liability later on down the road. But everyone seems to think that I want to spoil their fun, and that's not true. But that's also part of the reason why I would rather build my business with my stained glass than to start a job. So, again, I put my services out there. If you're interested, you can email me at eternalharmonydesigns@gmail.com. My website, I'm still working on at this point. I had it up for a little bit, and had a couple issues with inventory, so I'm back at square one trying to set it up. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Sacred Harmony Designs on there, not instead of Eternal Harmony Designs, but I think you can figure that out. I also have an Amazon website of items that I need for my business. If you wanted to help me out with that, that's always appreciated. But I know also that it is the time of year where everybody is Christmas shopped out and tapped out financially. So, I appreciate just even the well wishes and comments and everything else that comes along with doing these wonderful videos. But I think I've probably rambled for long enough about my crappy situation. But here's the thing. Again, don't feel sorry for me. I got myself here on my own. I'll get myself out. But my real message is learn from it. If you find yourself in this position, understand that yes, it feels crappy, crunchy, fucking shitty, like you want to give up sometimes, because I sure as hell have. But you're going to find that little glimmer of light within you that's going to pull you out of it, like I did today. I don't exactly know where it came from. It just kind of came out of nowhere. And that's why I'm doing the video, in the hopes that, if somebody else is finding themselves in a funk, much like I have, the last couple days, maybe you can find the spark within you to get yourself out of it like I did. It's a shitty situation. It is what it is. I'm allowed to complain about it. You don't have to listen to it. You could shut this off. I don't really care. But hopefully somebody learns something from this, even if it just reaches one person. Awesome. That means that there's one less person feeling like they're alone, having to go through the same shit. Because I know I do most of the time. But I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, whatever time it is in your part of the world. And I will see you in the next video.